Hello, my name is Jason, and this is
Monty.
And today we're going to be reviewing the song Long Way Home by Stephen Curtis Chapman. Now, the genre of the song is soft rock, but there are some elements, I think, of some blue-eyed soul, although it's not very prominent in the song. I think there are some elements that are probably kind of near the chorus and bridge that are very soulish, I'll say. The melody is played on a ukulele, a xylophone, and voices, has some bass in there. It sounds like an upright bass. Really, this is more your expertise, so kind of explain to us upright bass. What's the difference between an upright bass and a regular bass, and kind of what's the sound difference on that?
An upright bass is known as a double bass, so a lot of the times it will sound a little bit lower than a regular bass. A lot of people use electric bass because it pierces through more. Because bass is very big in new age music, you've got like dubstep and hip hop, and a lot of times even contemporary, just regular contemporary songs will add an electric bass because it carries through more. But what he did, he used a upright bass, I believe he did, anyways, because it has a much more round of a sound. It's made to be made to use a bow when you play it, so the sound is a lot more round. Even when you're playing.
You see, I wonder why he did that, because I mean, this song really doesn't need like how do I say, the loudness, really.
Right.
I think that's the term. It doesn't really need, I think, the as much as the loud sound of the bass as much. But there's some interesting, like a ukulele. You would not think in a song released in, what was this, 2010? A few years back. Let's just say 2011 to be safe. You wouldn't think it'd be played on a ukulele. I could much see this more on an acoustic guitar. So interesting choice there. What do you think about his voice and sort of the? What do you think about the artist himself?
Artist
Curtis Chapman.
I enjoy Stephen Curtis Chapman, or at least I did, especially around this time.
You have to explain that, by the way.
He has gotten. When he started his career, he was very young. And he's great at what he does. He's very experienced. So he knows how to produce music that people like.
Yeah, he's been in the industry for years.
So he's great at that, and he's great at getting other people started. But he only has a select few songs that I can really say that I enjoy. Now, this is one of those songs. But Stephen Curtis Chapman himself, he's got quite a testimony. He hasn't had the greatest of lives, but he still is able to write a song like this. And this was right after, I do believe, his daughter died. His baby daughter died. I believe it was a car accident
A few years back.
And he said I watched an interview with him. He said he sat down and he picked up a ukulele and started playing a song. And he said it had to be a God thing because it is impossible to be sad when you're playing
the beginning of the song.
I believe so.
That's really interesting.
It's really great that he can write songs that are as encouraging and things like that of this song.
You know, as much as and as interesting as that story is, I think that the writing here is a lot better than I think we've covered in previous song inspections, because the writing here actually feels like there was a lot of heart put into it, and that's not something that I can say about a lot of the songs we reviewed. You know, a lot of times it is just pretty poetry, but I think here you can actually get a good sense of where the artist was at the time when they wrote it. And so I think the writing is most of a very strong aspect of this song.
One thing about the writing, I must say, is his style of writing in this song is very different than most contemporary songs. He hardly says the same phrase twice in the entire song, which is amazing how it goes from verse to chorus, and he gives little difference in the chorus each time he sings it. He makes it a little bit different. And that just gives an example of how he's writing, and he's steadily progressing while he's writing this one.
So what is your favorite lyric or your standout lyric of this song?
My favorite lyric, I would have to say, is I'll just keep singing and believing what all of my songs say. Now, like I said, the testimony of this song is wonderful, where he's coming from, and the song being about what it is about, I believe we'll talk about that in just a second. But he says right here, he says that no matter how far we get off track, I'm just going to keep singing what God has given me and the songs that I sing, and I'm going to keep believing.
You know, leading into that next point of the meaning and the sort of themes, I think that's really the beautiful part about this song, is it kind of then gets into that aspect of kind of no matter how far you go, and there are times whenever you kind of begin to look back over how far you've come, and you begin to sort of see that certain things maybe didn't work out the best, but then you do realize that you do have to keep moving forward, and sometimes that you do come through very hardships like Stephen Curtis Chapman did with the death of his daughter, but sometimes you do have to just keep moving and just, not let it bother you too much. And I think that's really the beautiful part of this song, and I don't think this song can only be applied to his life, but I think it can be applied to several situations. I think that's what makes this song so beautiful and so just kind of intergenerational. And a couple of themes I think is just, I think loss is most definitely a subtle theme, most definitely not the most prominent, and I think hope is most definitely in faith. I think those are the very big themes that are found most in this song and are a very prominent part of the songwriting and just the beauty of this song. So what do you think? What's your final rating for this song?
My final rating, I would say, is a 6.5.
Okay, so mine's just a little bit higher than that. Mine is a 6.9 out of 10. So, got anything last to add about the song?
No, I just really enjoyed this song. I believe the way he mixes, it's very simplistic music in the song. He just uses very steady strumming pattern with the ukulele, but he also mixes in. He's got an organ playing in the background throughout the entire song, and the reason I did drop my rating a little bit. One thing that he does with the organ that kind of annoyed me is he changes chords.
Did kind of say a lot about the you gave us 6.7.
He changes chords late on the organ than he does later on the organ than he does any of the other instruments, and that sort of caught me off guard. And
I didn't at all actually. But it's cool.
I was listening to it and I heard that and it almost annoyed me, and I was just like, I didn't like it that much, and that was one of the only things that I found.
Wow. Very different things in voice about music, obviously. But yeah, I think overall, fantastic song and pretty good one by Stephen Curtis Chapman. So, next week we have Bible chat. We're going to be doing our best to find a good verse, study it, and give you our meaning. So, you have anything you want to add lastly?
No.
Talk about the organ or anything?
No, that's all right.
That's all right. Okay, so with all that said and done, my name is Jason. You are
Monty.
And we're signing off.